Hi scholars, in this video I'll be answering 10 JAMB UTME questions on semiconductors that will make you to get to understand every aspect of the topic semiconductors. So the first question there says, the electrical properties of germanium can be altered drastically by the addition of impurities. The process is referred to as dash. So for a semiconductor, let's say we have silicon or the germanium, a pure silicon or a pure germanium, it can actually become an impure semiconductor when we add an impurity. So whenever an impurity is added to a pure semiconductor, that process is called doping. So the correct option there is option B. So that is what we call doping. So doping actually involves the process by which an impurity is added to a pure semiconductor. Alright, so question 2 says, in a pure semiconductor, the number of electrons in the conduction band is dash. For a semiconductor, like I said earlier, it could be the silicon, it could be the germanium. So they have two carriers. Their carriers are known to be holes as well as the electrons. So the holes, they are said to be positively charged, and then the electrons, they are said to be negatively charged. So for a pure semiconductor, the number of holes is always equal to the number of electrons. So the right answer then is option B, equal to the number of holes in the valence band. Alright, so the next question, it says, pure silicon can be converted to a p-type material by adding a controlled amount of dash. So like I said earlier, if we have a pure semiconductor and we add an impurity to the pure semiconductor, it becomes an impure semiconductor, which could be a p-type semiconductor or an n-type semiconductor. So we have what we call the p-type semiconductor, then we have what we call the n-type semiconductor. So you need to take note that both the p-type and the n-type semiconductors, they are impure semiconductors. So if you have a pure semiconductor, let's say the silicon or the germanium, then we added an impurity to the pure semiconductor, it now becomes impure semiconductor. It could be the p-type or the n-type. So for the p-type semiconductor, if we add a trivalent atom, let's say boron, aluminum, or the indium into a pure semiconductor, then it becomes a p-type semiconductor. So whenever we add an impurity, which could be the boron, the aluminum, the indium, or we can just call them the trivalent atoms, if they are being added to a pure semiconductor, then it becomes a p-type semiconductor. So the right answer then should be trivalent atoms. Trivalent atoms. Alright, so the next question, it says, a silicon material is doped with an element of a certain group and an n-type semiconductor is formed. The most likely group of the elements is dash. So I've explained the one for p-type semiconductor. So for the n-type semiconductor, so how is an n-type semiconductor formed? It is formed when a pure semiconductor is doped, that is, when we add an impurity. Impurity needs to be a pentavalent atom. That is, whenever we add a pentavalent atom into a pure semiconductor, the result is going to be n-type semiconductor. So we can have, commonly we have the arsenic, we have the antimony, then etc. So if we have a pentavalent atom added to a pure semiconductor, the result is going to be an n-type semiconductor. So the right answer there is option B. That's the group 5 elements, because for the group 5 elements, they have 5 valence electrons. So we call them the pentavalent elements. So for the group 3 now, they have 3 valence electrons, so we call them the trivalent element. All right. So the next question, it says, which of the following are used to dope a pure semiconductor to get a p-type semiconductor? Like I said, we have to add an impurity which is a trivalent atom or a trivalent element into the silicon or the germanium. So now, for the p-type, the atoms now, they are the trivalent. So we have the arsenic, we have the indium, we have the aluminium, then we have the boron. So from what we have here, we have the indium. So the indium is correct. Aluminium is also a trivalent atom. Then we also have the boron. So the right answer then should be option D. That's 2, 3, and 4. The arsenic is known to be pentavalent to form an n-type semiconductor. So next question says, if a sample of germanium is known to be a semiconductor, is doped with arsenic. So imagine we having a pure conductor now being doped with arsenic. Arsenic is a pentavalent atom. What type of semiconductor is formed? So like I just said, the semiconductor is going to be an n-type. And we also have this question that what is the effect on its conductivity? So here's what you need to know pertaining to semiconductor. For semiconductor, if we increase the temperature, then you are going to have the conductivity getting increased. So the more the temperature of a semiconductor, the more its conductivity. So the right answer then should be n-type, then conductivity increases, and that is option C. N-type, then conductivity increases. So the next question, it says, the major charge carriers in p-type semiconductors are. So for the p-type semiconductor, which are said to be impure. One thing we need to know about this, remember we said for semiconductors now they have two carriers, they have the holes and then we have the electrons. So when you have a p-type semiconductor formed, it is expected that the number of holes is greater than the number of electrons. Now, in order for you not to forget this now, just assume that this P means positive. The P here means positive, and having the holes and the electrons, which one is said to be positively charged? It is the holes. So for the p-type semiconductor, the number of holes is going to be greater than the number of electrons. So that shows that holes are known to be the major carriers, and then the minor carriers are known to be the electrons. But for the n-type semiconductor, for the n-type now, here is negative. And which of the carriers is known to be negatively charged? It is the electrons. So that shows that for the n-type semiconductor, the number of electrons is more than the number of holes. So that means electrons are known to be the major carriers, and then the holes are known to be the minor carriers. That is for the n-type. So here says the major carriers in p-type semiconductor are what? So they are said to be the holes. So the holes are said to be the major carriers for the p-type semiconductor. So the next question, as you can see on the screen, it says the major difference between a pure semiconductor and a pure metal is that dash. So we want to compare a semiconductor and a metal. So we have semiconductor, then we have the metals. So for us to differentiate between semiconductors and metals, we have to consider number one, the conductivity, and then number two, the resistivity or the resistance. So in this case now, for the conductivity now, is going to increase. It increases. So as the temperature increases, the conductivity increases. That's for semiconductor. and the resistance, it decreases. So for semiconductors, when you increase the temperature, the conductivity gets increased and the resistance gets decreased. So the opposite of what we have here for the semiconductors are going to be for the metals. So for metals, if we increase the temperature now, the conductivity will get decreased. So it decreases. And if we increase the temperature, then we are going to have the resistance getting increased. So please do well to know these differences. So here says the major difference between a pure semiconductor and a pure metal is that dash. So if you check option B, so let's just consider option B and option C. Option B says while resistance of metals decreases with temperature, the reverse is the case for semiconductor. And option D says the resistance of metals increases with temperature, while for semiconductors it is the reverse. So what should be the right answer there now? So if you check for the metals now, I said the resistance for metals actually increases when you increase the temperature. So the correct answer there, that's option C. So the resistance of metals increases with temperature, while semiconductors is the inverse. So the right answer there is option C. So the next question, it says, when a semiconductor is heated strongly, its conductivity increases. Is that correct? Yes. Conductivity reduces. That is actually wrong. 3 says resistance increases. No. 4 says resistance reduces. So the right answer there should be 1 and 4. That's option C. So you can have both the conductivity and the resistance getting increased. So if one is increasing, the other one is decreasing. So for semiconductors, like I've actually put here, conductivity increases, the resistance decreases. So please take note of this. The next question, a certain manufacturer wishes to make an N-type semiconductor. Which materials would he select for doping? So if the manufacturer now wants to have an N-type semiconductor, so what are the impurities he's going to consider? So I said in making N-type semiconductor, the impurities now, they are the pentavalent atoms. So if you check option A, we have the arsenic and the antimony. That should be the correct answer, because boron in option B now is trivalent. If you check option C, both aluminum and indium, they are trivalent. And then if you check option D, boron is also what? A trivalent. So the right answer there is option A. So I want to believe that you've gained a lot of things pertaining to semiconductors. So let me quickly say something regarding semiconductors. When you have a p-type semiconductor and then the n-type semiconductor coming together, is going to form what we call the p-n junction diode. The p-n junction diode. So when you have the p-type semiconductor and the n-type semiconductor coming together, we call it the p-n junction diode. And under this now, you need to know what we call the forward biased and then the backward or the reverse biased. If you have the p-n junction diode, let's say we have the p-n junction diode, let's say we have the p here, then we have the n. The p-type semiconductor we have on the n-type semiconductor now. So now connected to a battery, let's say we have a battery now, possessing, this is the positive terminal, and then we have the negative terminal. So for the forward bias now, the positive terminal is going to be connected to the p-type semiconductor. Negative terminal is going to be connected to the n-type. Let me say this again now. For the forward biased, you are going to have a battery now connected to this. The positive terminal of the battery now or the cell will be connected to the p-type, and then we are going to have the negative terminal connected to the n-type. So if you now have the positive terminal connected to the N type, and then we have the negative terminal connected to the positive. We now have the negative terminal connected to the P type. That is what we call the reverse biased. Again, if you have the positive terminal of the battery connected to the N type, then you now have the negative terminal of the battery connected to the P type. That is what we call the reverse biased. So with all of these things, you stand the chance to answer any question on the semiconductor. So in case you really do like the video, please do well to like, to share, and subscribe. So see you in our next class. Thank you.